I heard about it through the news and all that shit. Um, Everybody else, they had a big old meeting with the fighters and explained it to them. Got phone calls and shit. And I've been with him for 10 years. Didn't even get a phone call, nothing. So it kind of like, I was pretty upset about it.
Download the AllStar app. Make your picks for UFC fights, challenge your friends, level up and win prizes. Link in description. Get it now. You're back, man. August 12th, Las Vegas. It's been some time. What are the emotions like, as the date gets closer and closer?
I'm just excited, man. I've been dealing with a few injuries and all healed up and ready to get after it. I've been wanting to compete, but just some injuries keeping me from doing that. So yeah, well, as we get closer, I'm just getting more excited. I don't like to be sitting on the shelf.
Yeah, definitely not sitting on the shelf. With the injuries, right? Was it something that happened in the last fight, or is it just as time went, injuries just came along?
Yeah, I mean, I was a little, there was a few things bugging me, and then like taking some time off, I thought they were fine, and then they just got worse because I kept training, trying to tough through it and just thinking it was just being stubborn, trying to fight through it, and made it worse. So, and then yeah, I had to take like 4 or 5 months out to get it all right, and then try to come back too quick, and then hurt myself again, and then now we rolling smooth now.
All right. Was there any surgery or anything that happened?
I chose not to do that, just to go to PT and do it like just regularly. But they said in order to do that, I had to step away from the sport for a little bit.
Well, it's good to see that you're back, you're full
So, yeah, I'm
healthy,
glad I didn't have to
and
take the work done.
yeah, man, going under the knife, man, is something that you just never want to do, right? Some people jump into it too quick sometimes.
Yeah, I definitely didn't want to do that. Yeah, I just see if I can handle it without the surgery. So.
How was it mentally going through all of that, though? I mean, you had the injury, you took some time off, went back too early, injured yourself. It's just a lot of roller coasters, right? Just up and down.
Yeah, man, it sucked. It really did suck. Especially being down two. I wanted to, get back to training, work on where I'm weak at, and get back after it. And yeah, it was pretty rough. But I had a new camp now. I'm feeling great.
During that time as well, I mean, the whole situation with Glory MMA was going on and they had to shut their doors. I've spoken to quite a few of your teammates and they've all kind of dispersed, right? Some went here, some went there. You're at Marathon. Did you have some time in between where you didn't know where you were going to go? You kind of went and maybe
Yeah.
traveled around. Some of fighters did that.
Yeah, I really didn't know where I was gonna go at first because like when all this stuff broke, I kind of got blindsided by it. I was like, I had heard about it through the news and all that shit. Um, Everybody else, they had a big old meeting with the fighters and explained it to them. Got phone calls and shit, and I've been with him for 10 years. I didn't even get a phone call, nothing. So it kind of like, I was pretty upset about it. Um, but reached out to Trey. He used to, teach over there. He was one of the instructors. I was underneath his jiu-jitsu program. I loved his style. I love what he brought to the table. So I reached out to him, and yeah, here we are. It's one of the best decisions I made.
One thing about Trey is, everybody knows him as a fighter, but he's been coaching for quite a bit of time, and he's had his own gym with his own team. So it's like, it's not nothing new for him. And as well, it's nothing new for you.
Yeah, just like we didn't even skip a beat because like I'm used to being underneath him and then getting back into his system, learning all the new tools that he's acquired as being out on his own and evolving. It's been great. He's, man, one hell of a coach. Yeah, and we meshed really well together.
I spoke with Miles Johns. He also went over to
Yeah.
Marathon MMA as well. He's probably one of your guys, right? One of your training partners. Who else is over there with you?
Shit, Miles, Garrett Armfield, and then Trey, and then we got a lot of up and comers, man. A lot of killers. No one knows about them yet, but they bring it. They definitely give us the push we need. Um, But yeah, Miles, Trey, and Garrett are all my main training partners. And so it's good. It sucks that Miles has been a little banged up. I was helping him get ready for his fight, so we had a really good push for that. And then he got injured, and but we're still getting the work done, getting the rounds that I need.
Yeah, Miles is the one that kind of broke the news, right? Like he was the one. It happened to him on fight week. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
I was like, I like literally. I think I walked into the night class, and they was like, "Did you hear about Miles?" I was like, "What? What are you talking about?" Like, and I heard that. I was like, I was so heartbroken over that because I know how hard he's been working, and we were getting after it, man. Like to see his evolution in that short amount of time, because I was there because I hit him up. Like I know he was already on the fence to come in trays, but then I got to trays and like everybody kind of has like their people they train with in the morning, and I was kind of like the odd man out, like having to try to find a partner. So I hit him up. I'm like, "Yo, Doug, I need you in there. If you ain't got a spot to go, I need a body to go with every morning." And man, we got after it, and that boy became a problem. He
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And,
can't
and
have him back.
you go from like this massive team to more of a close knit team. You know, what I mean, how has that been? You know, what I mean, just kind of like being able to be with a smaller group and kind of work together and work on your flaws.
Well, at first, man, it was a concern of mine. You know what I'm saying? Like, not if I wasn't gonna get the push that I needed or stuff like that. But man, it's been the best experience. Like switching over, I get way more one-on-one time. I'm getting 2 to 3 personal sessions a week, and then like I'm jumping in on other people's personal sessions, learning from that. So it's like really I'm getting like 4 to 5 one-on-ones because like I'm just like doing mine and then jumping in on other people, still gaining that knowledge. So a lot of one-on-one, we're like speaking the same language, and that was like my biggest thing. Is like, I used to do like one-on-one with coaches, but just do pads, but like never really like try to like get like a fight. Like no one's really ever asked me like what combinations I like to do. What do I do in mine? So like me and Trey, we kind of just like go like I tell him, hey, this is what I like to do. This is all, and we found what worked, and then found out codes for it. And in my rounds now, he's like calling out the combinations that are like my go-tos instead of just yelling out, like, one yelling out random combinations, but just my setups and my style of fighting. So.
A lot more like communication, you know what I mean,
Mhm.
between you and the coaches, and because there's not, like 50 other fighters in the gym.
Yeah, no. Yep. And like we're just working on a more blended game. Like I mean, I'm just been known as a striker, but dude, I'm a really good grappler as well, and I do it a lot in the gym and just believing in it. You know what I'm saying? Like I do it all the time in the gym. I take people down, submit them. Pretty crafty. Just I never do it in the ring. I'll put people on their butt and let them get back up. I'll take people down and get back up, and like and I just can't let them off the hook. We've been going over that. Like, you're doing a great job in the gym, but this is fighting, man. You can't let him off the hook and let him back in the fight. So definitely been working on that a lot. So that'll be a big change for this fight.
Yeah, and nobody else better, man, than Trey. Trey's so good on the ground.
Yes, he is.
What are there any other spots that you're training at? You're working other aspects of your game, or is it just all at Marathon?
It's all that marathon, man. I'm just putting all my trust in him, and it's been good. And it's I've never felt better. I'm in probably one of the best shapes of my life. Like I'm doing more, and like yeah, I just feel great all around.
Were you fighting injured in your first two fights?
Well, with the first fight in the UFC, that was just what you got to do to you get sacrificed to get in there. Like, and honestly thought my first fight was a bad stoppage. I was still in that fight, but it is what it is. The ref's doing his job. Like, I mean, I cut 30 pounds in like 9 days. So like, the fluid in your brain is like I normally can take a lot more damage, and I still was there too. Like as soon as like my butt touched, I was looking at him, and the ref jumped in. I was like, what the heck? Like, but whatever that one. But I was dealing with some injuries for the last fight. Yeah. But nothing like that wasn't going to stop me from competing. Um, yeah, and that fight was funky, man. It was, like I said, like there's a lot of things I could have did differently, but like I didn't like the way the decision went. I don't know, just funny, just some funny shit going on there. But I'd rather not elaborate it. But yeah,
Now, man, you return, but you got the biggest name you could return to, right? Like straight up veteran of the game. You know what I
yep.
mean? What do you think of him and the style that he brings?
And I've always loved his style. Every time his name comes across like a card, I have to watch it. Um, yeah, it's like I definitely like I don't know. I like him as a fighter. I mean, I respect him. He comes, he brings it. Like bell to bell, man's gonna fight till the end, kill to be killed, and it matches up perfectly with me. I think it has fight that night written all over it. Um, I'm excited for it. Like,
Yeah, what do you think of his last couple of fights? You know, what I mean, he's on back-to-back losses, you know, but he's been pretty
yeah,
active.
yeah. So what his first loss was the one that Charles Jordan, right? Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I mean, he was at 45. He got caught in that guillotine, and that could happen. That's just MMA. Like, I mean, he got the takedown right out the gate. Started pressing again, and then landed in that weird. The way he landed in that, it was just kind of a shitty deal. But and then the Zalubra fight, man, that dude's real rangy and tough. Trey made it look easy on him though, but I mean, but if you don't know, but those Zalubra's a problem though. If you don't know how to deal with his reach and his forward pressure, um, he's a problem. But like he fought his way back into that fight. Like I was really impressed. I got to watch it cage side. Round one, he got hit with that knee, and then it was a flurry. Like people could say, it's almost a 10-8. Like he was on him. He barely survived that one, but he fought his way back into the mix. 2 and 3. Um, he's got heart. He's never out of a fight. He definitely fought his way back into that, and I was really impressed with that.
Venata, you know, what I mean, he's likely has his back against the wall in this fight. What is your mentality heading into the fight?
Man, I'm right there with him. I'm in the same boat. We're both 0-2. Coming into this fight, and who wants it more? And I'm ready to lay it out all on the line. And it's gonna make fireworks, man. Must see TV. I promise you that.
What are your expectations out of yourself? You know what I mean, with what's like you said, the last fight left a bad taste in your mouth. You're healthy. You know what I mean? Like, what do you expect?
I just want to be just not try to put so much weight on my shoulders. Like it's like a make or break. I just want to, you know, enjoy the moment and like, remember why I'm doing this. Like I love this shit. You know what I'm saying? Just go out there and have fun and be in a constant state of like just flow, constant state of flow, and let the fight unfold. And what will happen will happen. I think like I was my last 2 fights. I was trying to do something different when I got to the UFC. If you go look at all my other fights, like as the fight goes on, I get stronger. My volume triples as round 2 and 3. Like round one is always like, it's pretty close, and then once I get a beat on them, I just freaking my output is just my rage is like I don't think I've lost like around 2 and 3 on a local scene. Like what I'm saying. Um, but I think when I got to the UFC, I was just like, my coaches were telling me, "Oh, you got to start faster. You got to do this. You got to do that," and I was just rushing the process and like just almost like a brawl, like street fight. Just walk them down, step up in the pocket. Like, yeah, I can do that. I'm a dog, like but I don't need to do that. I can, set traps. Use my movement, use my footwork, and then draw stuff out of them to set my counters up. And like that's why I got 9 knockouts, 9 TKOs just from being patient and sucking them into my game. And none of them all was just from walking them down and knocking them out. No, it was a whole process.
Against Venata, do you think that that's going to be the biggest advantage for yourself is you know, getting stronger as the fight goes? Because it seems like him, you know, I mean, he kind of starts out the gate
He
strong.
starts out hot and then he starts
Yeah.
slowing down. So we're a little bit opposite in that point, but yeah. So I think that favors me for sure, and because I know he's gonna he's gonna try to get after me. He's trying to make a statement against me, but yeah, man, I just gotta stay calm and not blend this up. It's MMA. Put him if he wants to blitz me, go ahead. I'll put him on his back, and 'cause I can wrestle. I just haven't shown it. Like no one's seen it. Out here, no one knows that I can grapple, but I can.
I look at this matchup and I see the second round being just crazy because, like you said, you know, he kind of comes out the gate hot, and then you kind of get rolling in the second, like the start of the second round. You know, I see you guys going really hard at each other. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of like the timing
Oh
of this
yeah.
fight.
Oh yeah. So like yes, yeah. I agree with you. It's gonna get going because once I start seeing what I've been watching some film on him. I know what his like. I see some of his traps. I'm sure he's gonna have some new tools and whatnot. But I'm only gonna pick those up within that first round, and then we'll start locking in and start cranking the heat up. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun one for sure.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's a great matchup, man. August 12th, UFC Fight Night, Las Vegas. Mike, thank you so much, man, for taking the time, and all the best in this fight. I can't wait to see the new version. You've made a lot of changes, man, and it's always exciting to see fighters make changes and take their time to come back and
Yeah.
show their skills, man.
Oh yeah. No, I'm super excited. Thanks for having me.